So at the end of the day, let's break this down. Explain exactly what happened here. Well, can't really explain it in great detail, but we'll do our best, right? So, a little dimmer. There you go. It was a little too bright. So this is what a typical connecting rod looks like, right? This is the big end. This is what goes to the crankshaft, right around there and there, right? And this is your piston. This is what compresses, and this is what the explosion happens, right? Cool. So this is how it usually looks like, and does its thing up and down in a reciprocating motion. And so this is good, right? This right here is cylinder number 2. You'll notice it's a little bent, slightly. And up here, because of that damage, if you remember, I had shown that the nut had been smashed, so I had to get my angle grinder to get that going, right? So that's that with regards to number 2, right? And then, all right, I mean, otherwise the rest of it looks mostly okay. Then here's the big one. Number 1. This is it. Now that, we can compare what it's supposed to look like. This is it. This is what it ended up looking like. I haven't even found the other part. I don't know where they all went. Then this part right here, the wrist pin I was talking about, you can't really see it. But in the piston here, right, the wrist pin goes through, keeps it centered in basically the rotation. It allows rotation like that, right? There you go. It's a steel cylinder, and this is it. This is the wrist pin. Obviously, it's supposed to be centered and not bent and not dented like that, right? So, bad news, man. All kinds of bad news. And, of course, I've shown the pistons in a different video. This is the piston. This is what it ended up looking like from that. I don't even know where the other pieces are. Well, somewhere in there, obviously, but so yeah, it's going to be an interesting project, but at the end of the day, that's what you have. That was the main problem, and obviously it showed what the problem was over here, whereby it had a pretty distinct step over here on this side, number 1, number 2, right? And then over here it was pretty even, but then over here you could tell, all right? Yeah, it just got some weird elliptical pattern of wear. But yeah, I'm glad. As I said, game over. This thing is all empty. You can see all the way down. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. Quite a story to it, so if it's got a really good story, I might consider making it into some kind of craft. Usually that's what happens to the pistons, and mostly I haven't really sold any of them, but I don't have any of them because I turn them to clocks and usually just give them away. And I think my favorite clock is going to be this one right here because it's bent, it's going to have only one. Yeah, basically, it tells a story. Obviously, I usually offer one to the people that buy the car and the people that sell me the car. So I'll offer this to the seller. If he's interested in it, cool. Otherwise, maybe this might be the clock I end up keeping. But yeah, definitely interesting. And I like that. Well, I hate the way it ended up making this shape, but I like that it's shaped a little differently. I don't have to glue it, in an odd manner to get it to stand. So, yeah. Well, good night, y'all. Let's catch up later. Catch some Z's, okay?